Hello, 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 my darlings. How are you? Well, it's Friday. You know, Jordan doesn't work on the weekend. No, 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 no. Anyway, it's Friday in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's good weather, and I just feel good today. Many of you know that I had cancer 3 times, and many of you know that um, I'm all about being fabulous over 70. If you're 70 and you're fabulous, or 60, but this is for people that's 70 and older, 65 and older if you want to call it that. But anyway, I just think you ought to just be fabulous at this point in your life. Why not be fabulous? You could be all kind of F's, but let one of them be fabulous and fantastic, fruitful, just all kind of words, but let's be fabulous after 70. In my case, fabulous after 80. Yes, I did say it. Yes, I did. Anyway, we're going to try this again. I don't have the apparatus that I normally use, but I'm on this one right now until I can get to my next one. You see, so let's talk about what this place is, why you're here. You're here because at this place, I'm doing a virtual video of my autobiography of Jordan Thomas. But in the middle of it, I talk about things that have happened in my life. One of the things I like to talk about or start off with is always fabulous. Like, look at this. Let me tell you why I'm so happy to be doing this. YouTube. I have found more jewelry, more stuff that I have. You got stuff. Are you wearing your fabulous stuff? I'm just like, I just can't stand myself. Just fabulous, fabulous. All this was somewhere in a drawer, in a this, in a that. Everywhere but on my back. Why? Because I don't know, I was saving it for something. Or I was thinking, well, I have to be conservative, have to look a certain way. And I'm like, well, you know who I like? I got introduced by a friend to, what's her name? Her name is Iris Aptel. Iris Aptel. She's from 102 now. And she wears just tons of stuff to her liking. And people are interviewing her and doing books about her. And I was thinking, wait a minute, it's because she's white? What is that? But it may be. But let me tell you what I like about her. She said it. She said, I used to go to Harlem. And on Sunday, and I used to watch the women come in and out. I used to go to Harlem and watch. And I thought about that. The fabulous does not know it's fabulous. Beautiful does not know it's beautiful. Well-dressed doesn't know it's well-dressed. We have been regal people so long. And then we fell into what looked good to fit corporate America, which you have to do. But guess what? Young people are not doing corporate America. That's why the corporations are closing. People are at home. People are making so much money on the internet. It's crazy. They're making so much money gigging, doing stuff. I'm just glad that I lived long enough to see all of it. Fabulous. Fabulous. And so I'm happy for being here because, they took me off with chemo because I couldn't take it anymore. That was, have I been off a year, 2 years? Oh, I've been off 2 years now? Okay, well, I'm good. I'm still good. I said all that to say, look at this. None of this would go together in corporate America. We're not going to corporate. But it depends on what corporate America. It depends on what country. It depends on if it's your corporate America. Who set the standards? I teach. And when I asked students, what do you wear to interviews, they all gave me the same scenario. Every class, everyone, every young man, every young woman gave me the same scenario when they wanted to go get a job. But the founder of Facebook and the Google people, they changed all that. I don't think you need to wear t-shirts, but if that's what you want to wear. But if you want to wear this, see, this to me is regal. It doesn't go together. I know Wayne McMillan is having a fit, just a fit. I love you, Wayne. All right, but who gave me this? Ross and Harper gave me this, I think. And this was a gift too. Who gave me this? You all out there know. But I looked at it today, and it's got little stones on it with a little diamond something in it. I said, wow, look at this. And then, of course, I have on my real pearls, and I have on Wayne's mama's pearls. And then I thought I'd put, can you see? Where is it? I put a little glitter heart because I love hearts. I love anything that has a heart. Put the little glitter to pick up the glitter right in here somewhere. You know, and then I had these scarves. Did I get this in the United States? I'm not sure where I got this piece. But this is an ASHLEY Stewart blouse. $9. And then I might have got the scarf somewhere. But you know, when you see our people, when you go to Africa, or when you're somewhere in Africa, or back in the day in Africa, it was Regal. Let's just talk about Africa. Let's talk about indigenous people, period. Let's talk about the indigenous people, the Indian population, Native American. Let's talk about the early dynasties in China. Regal, jewelry, draped. When you look at those westernized Egyptian movies, somebody's always tossing something. Where'd you get that from? Where'd you get all this from? This is Regal. This is who we are. Let's go back. We don't have to have all this. Let's go back to your grandmother. Let's go back to going to church. Let's go back to going to church. My grandfather had at his back door, I think you heard me say this before, as we talk about George Ann's life, he had a shoebox. When I married Alvin, Mr. Sanders and each boy, the boys, the Duval, Bud, Jasper Jr. rather, and Alvin, they had shoeboxes. Why did they have shoeboxes? Because you did not go out the house. No civilized man went out the house without his shoes being shined. They don't even need shoe boxes or shoe shine anymore because who wears shoes? Everything is canvas or some kind of $2,000, $3,000, or $30,000 tennis shoe. If that's what I'm not mad with you. As long as they're white and clean, I guess. But there was a time when you saw a black man. I don't know about any other man. I was talking about a black man in the black community, in the black church, really. He had on a hat. My grandfather would tip his hat. My grandfather's hat it had to sit on something. You know, my grandmother, who would go to church without a hat? I mean, we do it now. I do it now, but you didn't go to church without a covering. What was that? Where did we get all this from? This all goes back. Where's Dr. Black to tell you? This all goes back to ancient Africa, ancient Kemet. Where's Dr. Miles, Larry Miles? These people will tell you, just all of this I have on, all of this is reminiscent of what we used to be. And the same way with the regalness we used to have. It was a regal walk that your grandmother had. Go back and look at those pictures. Your grandmother didn't walk down the aisle all bent over unless it was a rheumatoid or something, but she walked with her head up because that's where you could hold up your head. Of course, when you were during enslaved times and Jim Crow, if you held your head too high, they would call you a haughty N-word. You know, so you looked haughty. They didn't know that was regal. To them, that was arrogance. How dare you be arrogant and be black? How dare you be arrogant and be black? You see? But I'm saying to you now, it's a new day. I have a song like that. You know I sing. Find my songs on YouTube. Find my songs on Amazon.com. Please subscribe. Write me a note. And I'll look for my music also. So I'm just loving all this. You see? My grandmother, you know, the stockings had the seams down back then. You know, her shoes would be shine. You just had shiny shoes. You had a nice hat on. And maybe white men did this. I don't know. I'm just talking about the black church. And that old man who was the deacon. Oh my God. You know, he was the janitor during the day. but on Sunday he was a deacon. She was the cook during the day, but on Sunday she was a deaconess. And she was able to put that hat on and go down to those churches in Harlem. And Iris Apfel, and some more Irises were standing out there looking at. Sometimes they made fun. Look at them ends, always strutting around in their nice clothes. That's right. And we fell into that other way of dressing. But we need to go back. We need to go back. We need to see pictures of, you know, they threw, it's a white woman. I don't know her name. I got to find her. I give her credit for this. And I follow us. She got pictures, tons of pictures of black families posing regally, looking good, standing tall. You know, beautiful clothing, starched. Everything's white and stark. Wait, let me put a pin in that. Oh, Lord Jesus. Y'all don't remember. We were able to finally get a washing machine in the bathroom because they had to be hooked up to the faucet. And the wringer, you had to do this to run the clothes through the, nothing went automatically. The thing turned automatically. You plugged it up, it turned. But the wringer, you had to put the clothes through there, and then you had to do this to dry it out on the other side. But that was an upgrade. But wait. Did y'all know about starch? Argo starch, which people ate when they were pregnant. But you had to cook the starch. Woo! Y'all don't know nothing about what we had to do. You had to cook that starch. And don't leave out the bluing. Oh, my God. I tell you, they have incorporated some of that. You see that blue running through stuff? Bluing. We knew what we were doing. Bluing. So you put the, because the sheets had to be, and clothes had to be, okay, so you starch stuff. You didn't starch the sheets, but you put the bluing in there. And then you took all these blue clothes and went to a line and hung them up. And let the sun, you talking about some fresh smelling clothes? Oh my God. They don't know nothing about fresh. Y'all don't know nothing about fresh. I could tell you about some fresh smelling clothes. And then that starch. And then you roll the clothes up when you got them, when the time to iron. So you sprinkle them with water, right? You sprinkle them with water. You roll them up. You got the iron hot, and you press them. I mean, starch. Oh my God. And then don't let it be mother's board. Don't be on a mother's board. Y'all ain't seen no mother's board like the black mother's board in a black church. Wouldn't those sisters be that starch? Oh, that starch would be, you could hear the starch. I'm sorry. I got off my subject. I forgot where I was. I forgot. I need to take notes because I got excited just talking about what we used to look like when I was a little girl. You wanted to grow up to look like that. You know, the mother's board, it was white. It wasn't off-white. It wasn't almost white. Near about white? No. When it was Mother's Board's Day, the people who sat on the Mother's Board, it was white. And then I married into a deacon and deaconess. And Mrs. Evelyn Sanders was a deaconess. Oh, and some days I would have to go shopping with her because I love doing stuff with her. And we would go shopping for some white stuff. It had to be white. I loved it. See, we started making fun of our own culture when other people started making fun of it. Why did we do that? You know, I had somebody say, well, why y'all all dressed up? Nobody else is dressed up. Let me just give you a little tidbit. This may not be the reason. Don't you like this bracelet? Beverly Maddox brought this back from Hawaii. I mean, all my stuff just come together. Look at this. Look at this, though. And look at this. Whew. I can't take it today. I just can't take all of this right here. I just love it. Fabulous after 70. Especially 80. Georgianne, stop. Okay. We used to be a people that took pride in what we look like. And people say that could be prideful. But I thought you had to distinguish yourself from, I think we should distinguish ourselves from what everybody else is doing. That's what they do. See, they have something that we don't have. And I'm going to say it. I hope YouTube doesn't get mad, but it's true. They have white skin privilege. A white person can be unattractive, overweight, can have on the worst looking clothes, can never wash their hair, can be dirty, can be anything unattractive, all of it. But they can walk in with you and get more response than you'll ever get. So that's their culture. You go ahead and look like, you need to look like you. Especially our young men. You said, now wait a minute, Georgianne, let me just say this. They're casual clothes, but some have collars on them. When you get stopped by the police and they make a judgment, it's a different judgment for us. I was stopped by a young white policeman. My car happened to be a young looking car. It had I told you the story, it had a light out on the back. It was daytime, not night. The light was out on the back of the license plate. He saw my license. My license told him at the time I may have been 76, maybe 78. I already know if I was a white woman over in Buckhead, he would have said, ma'am, go get your son, go get your daughter to change that light. Because he would know I wouldn't know that. He read me the rules and regulations. He gave me a ticket. It cost me $100. Sure did. You said, well, Georgianne, you can't ask to not get a ticket because that's against the law. And it is, but they have warning tickets in Buckhead. But I was over here on Cascade. Cost me $100. And I thought, and he had kept his hand on his gun. That's the other part that was disturbing to me. He kept his hand on his gun. Wasn't even trying to look young that day, but I'm sure I look good. No, I'm serious. Let me stop playing, Georgianne. I'm trying to get, trying to make light sometimes of things, because you all know what I'm talking about. He kept his hand on his gun. I heard a man say he'd rather be poor white than rich black. I think it was Chris Rock that does that joke. It's not a joke, it's for real. If you ask somebody, well, you better rich black man, too difficult. Read the book, Black Like Me. Too difficult. The man couldn't wait to be back white. I want people who, since white people like to tan all the way down and be black. Just go and be black and see what happens. See how your life goes. See how you get stopped. See how people treat you distantly. See how long it takes to get waited on. In 2023, unfortunately. The youngins are trying to change it, but some of them are being taught something different at home. I think there's some young people who are not with any of this. Some young white people I'm talking about. But then you got 74 million that voted. I don't know. I don't know what to do. All I know to do is to try to encourage you. Yes. I'd be glad when I can smile all the way with some real teeth. That's next. But all I can do is encourage you. You know, I lost my teeth with the chemo. There's no gums. That chemo did a job. My eye. Whew. Infusion chemo for all those who just tuning in for the first time. That's a different kind of chemo. Anyway, all I can do is encourage you to find a piece of the pie and enjoy it. Act like the last slice of my daughter's sweet potato pie is yours. That smile on your face ought to be this big. If you know that you are getting the last slice of Evelyn Sanders Swafford's sweet potato pie, then you ought to be somewhere smiling. And that's what I'm encouraging. I'm encouraging that smile, that glow, that excitement. Because that girl could cook a pie. She and my sister, woo. Am I getting on y'all's nerves with this? I just like all that. You know, I feel like a queen, yes. We are queens. I feel like who I am. We are who we were, who we still are DNA-wise. Where's Chris Smothers with the ancestry? This is a funny kind of day. It's Friday. I have work to do. I got papers to grade. But I gave an awesome assignment that they're working on now. It's a Gregory Porter piece. I should know my own assignment. Gregory Porter, they're looking at that song on a canvas. You know, about the colors on the canvas. Oh my God, it's a great song. And they're just dissecting it. And I got so many great questions about that song. The cultural part of it. Oh, I love what I do. I do love teaching. I love teaching. I mean, I want to be singing my songs at my concert, and thinking about, oh, I got to get somewhere and grade some papers. I live for it. And of course, I have people who want to make fun of me and my way I teach, or I got a whole group of folk over there. Ooh, I love Clark, Atlanta. I do. Sam, you know I love you, Sam Thurston. I love the president. I love all y'all over there. But I got some folk over there. They really treat me badly. But you know, the Bible says, you know, to still honor those people and you know, just smile and still send them love. You know, when you write somebody an email, in your sincerity, they don't write you back, don't acknowledge you. I mean, just all that kind of foolishness that goes on for no reason. No reason. They don't even know I have something good for them, but I didn't put it in the email, you see. So they elected not to write me back because they're part of this little, you know, she nobody group. And it's just, I find it amazing. Just amazing. But what I do find amazing is that all this is fabulous. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to know your history. You know, like I could talk about historical events. And thank you, Wayne McMillan, for Wallahaji. You put the correct spelling in there, but I didn't bring it in here with me so I can tell you all about the Wallahaji. Go back and listen to the Wallahaji story, everybody. It's fabulous. Oh, look it up, the Wallahaji Hotel. I'm just glad that YouTube exists. I am. Because if you're waiting, I was waiting for years to be able to do my own thing. And, you know, time went by. Age caught up with me, you know, all this. Tried to get my music out, didn't get it out. My dad tried to get his out before he got killed. Didn't get it out before he died. I don't know what happened. That's another story. But, and now, YouTube has given people a platform and an opportunity to share their experiences and solve a problem. You don't have problems. So I'm not solving anything, but I'm answering a question. How can you be fabulous after 70? I'm not showing you how, I'm giving you an example. You can say, well, that's not fabulous. Yes, it is. Fabulous is in the eyes of the beholder. Listen, you got to laugh. You got to find that time and that space that's yours. You got to enjoy the fact that we're breathing today's air. Okay? We're in the beginning of September, time for change. What did Joshua Giles said on September 15th? Rosh Hashanah, we're in the 5784. New beginnings. People said, Georgianne, why don't you do YouTube? I'm like, no. I mean, people asked me for years. I was like, no, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it would be lethargic. I didn't understand that there were people that would be interested in knowing something I said. I didn't understand that maybe I can encourage somebody to get up and be their authentic selves, whatever that is. Quit hiding from what used to be, because used to be ain't no more. That's very poor English. I'm going to say it again. Used to be ain't no more. You know, I got to get my new apparatus. It looks like I'm looking over there somewhere, over here. I want to look straight. I can't get the straight. See? God, Georgianne. Y'all pray for me to try to get this piece that I need to get. I got to get the money. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, Lord. Anyway, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the nurses and the doctors at Emory. I'm grateful for y'all. I'm grateful for Dr. Doug Collins, my oncologist. He just shakes his head, but I'm happy every day. I have to go see him next week. I don't know what he's going to tell me. I don't know. Can't worry about it. I was trying to get some teeth from Dr. Simmons. Terry Simmons, my dentist. He won't return my phone calls. I guess he's just tired of me. He don't want to tell me, you're not getting any teeth up there. He told me, there's nothing up there. One person told me go get all the teeth pulled and put in all dentures. But I saw what you look like when you get them teeth out of your mouth. You think this is sunk in because there's no teeth there? The whole face will go, whoop. I'm trying to hold on. Help me, somebody. I don't know. Right now, this is what you get. So, Georgianne, as we talk about our people, you know, Black history, fabulous. The way we carried ourselves, the way we dressed, the way we walked, Regal. The way a man would tip his hat. The way a woman would bow her head. I mean, a nod her head. How you doing? The way we used to speak to one another. The way we would encourage one another. It's that James Baldwin piece that I haven't written up for my students yet. You need to get that piece. If Black English isn't a language, then tell me what is. If Black English is not a language, then tell me what is. I would have a whole conversation when I was in the classroom. Sometimes I wish I were in the classroom, but I got to park on the promenade. You know how Dr. Jenkins used to park on the promenade? Sam Burson, Dr. Burson, you hear me? You know how Dr. Jenkins used to park on the promenade? That's the only way I can teach a class. Is I park on the promenade, and my class is on the first floor of Carl and Mary Ware, my husband's classmates. All right? I know Carl and Mary Ware well. If my class can be right there on the bottom, and then I can walk right in, then I can do this class. I want to have everybody once a week. 300 people. I had 300 or 200 at one time. in that big room down there on the first floor, down on the end down there. I'm going to have all my students at one time. And I'm going to teach that James Baldwin piece. If Black English isn't a language, then tell me what is. Because in it, he talks about how we can have a whole conversation and don't say a word. He didn't say it like that, but I'm saying that. And I can have a whole conversation without saying a word. That's something we have. That's something we know. Why have we thrown away our culture? I want you to join K Narrative. That's an app that my brother turned me on to, Vincent, that you can see Dr. Black, Dr. Carr, the intellectuals, they're all over there. I'm over here, not saying we're not intellectual over here on YouTube, don't get me wrong. But you know, I just have a different kind of view over here. I can be this Georgian, you know, and I can remind us of who we really are, how regal we are, how beautiful we are, how we carried ourselves, how somebody else could honor us by copying, because that's a form of flattery, really, an honor. That you copied our stuff and made yourself somebody, and we have it, and we don't know that we're somebody. You better know you somebody. Put on my dollar store glasses that I love. And I've told you more than once. I love you, and you can't do anything about it. Have an awesome weekend, my darlings.